For the culture, by the culture. This is Creatives Are All Pushing. Gapcast. For the culture, by the culture. This is Sonwabile Luthango with Creatives Are All Pushing. Gapcast, a podcast aimed at shining a light on the creative realm in Cape Town, South Africa and beyond. This is episode 5. We've come a long way. I'm not doing the podcast alone. I have my brother Siveyolas, Sivenathi Mona, Kwakha Khumalo, and my nigga Vuyo. How are you feeling, my brother?
Hey, it's like, how can I say this? You often find that there is no road, man, without any kind of hiccups,
Mm-hmm.
You can't necessarily walk past a storm, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for you guys for having me here. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? As I was speaking to my brother over here, telling him about how it was rather not necessarily monumental, but it meant a lot, you understand, for me to actually have now an opportunity to be here, and I'd like to thank both of you brothers, including my brother behind the camera there, for this opportunity.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for having you. Your contribution towards the podcast is enormous. From the first episode we shot to episode 5, you've been with us, pushing the vision, pushing the creative scene. How are you feeling, Siveyolas?
Feel good, man, just vibing, you know what I mean? Just wearing shorts today, just to live slow, you know what I mean? It's a short day.
Oh, and by the way, like he planning to wear shorts. He just pulled up on me.
That's the lifestyle, you know me, man. Just wearing MXCs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming with its smooth ones.
Hey, my
Yeah, man, just a good day, man. Just woke up, felt good, wanted to shoot. You know what I mean? For our 5th episode, just to push the vision further.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. How about you, man?
I'm super grateful, dog.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for life, for being here. I'm healthy. The skin is glowing.
Yeah.
The pockets are heavy. I'm lying. The pockets are not heavy.
We're still on the grind, my friend.
Still on the grind.
Still on the grind.
I'm just super grateful, man, for life and for you guys that are doing the thing, Abanye abantu, they don't see like kunzima kanjani to actually shoot the thing.
Absolutely. Come together as this.
Absolutely.
These struggles that we come across with, from getting the equipment
To finding the time
to actually shoot, getting the people, and a big shout out to the people that keep on commenting, subscribing and liking. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you very much.
See,
So how was the weekend, my guy?
The weekend, man, it was just for chilling, man, just relaxing, because we've been busy the whole week, bro. The week was, for me, it was draining. When we were shooting so much, man, that week, to a point that you don't even have time for yourself, where you can reflect and say that, hey, bro, I did this and this and that, and I appreciate the fact that I was part of that.
Absolutely.
You don't usually see yourself as someone now when you are busy. See yourself as someone now who's pursuing something. You kind of feel like you're just here to push. You're just here to push. You don't feel nothing. It was just that way, man. This past weekend, just trying to relax, rethink things, trying to strategize how we can move forward as Capcast, you know what I mean? Yeah, but the weekend also it wasn't just chilling. There were things that I had to do. But other than that, it was more chill than the week we came from. How about your weekend, bro?
My weekend was easy, dog. Spent time with my matey.
Sure.
Is there a day where you never don't?
Yeah, there are days born that actual days when we are shooting, and when I also need my time alone.
I feel you.
But the past weekend was another weekend. Spent time with my matey, went out, came back, just chill.
You want to give a shout out to the baby?
Big shout out to the matey.
Yeah, big shout.
Yeah, can drop the name.
I don't drop the name.
I'm a very I like keeping myself informed. So especially this weekend, especially when I find something very interesting. Like, for example, this weekend I recently just discovered about the whole situation in, what's the city? Sorry, not a city, what's this country? In Bangladesh, you understand?
Okay, sure.
So I encountered something very interesting about the Prime Minister leaving, about the whole...
I saw that.
We want to delve on that conversation later.
So I guess it was a very informative weekend, I guess you could say. I mean, there is no day that's not informative, but I would definitely highlight the weekend was one of the first weekends in a while where I actually sat down and can say, wow, I actually learned something new. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
For some people that may not know, and me too, what was happening in Bangladesh this weekend?
My brother, you know, it also, once again, it also comes, especially when it comes to learning about political topics. You understand? They often come as a matter of perspective. So I'm not necessarily going to speak about who was right, who was wrong. I'm simply going to speak from a third lens that I was reading.
From your perspective.
You understand what I'm saying? So what was happening entirely is the Sheikh, which is the Prime Minister, you know, she's been in power since I think 2008, if I'm not mistaken.
Tired.
You understand? So it's a very... So they're fighting over something called the 30% quota. You understand? So the 30% quota was basically... We're going to say maybe it's, I don't want to say discount, but we're going to say it's more of like a leeway specifically for individuals that were born or descended from freedom fighters that fought during the 70s against the Pakistani government that ruled Bangladesh at the time.
Tap in that history.
You understand what I'm saying? So now what would happen is initially the quota was supposed to be for the freedom fighters. You understand? Particularly while they were still young, so that when democracy came, they would have a father. Sorry, not so they would have my apologies for saying now, where they would be able to go further. However, the quota system was initiated by the current sheikh who was being deposed father. You understand? Now, what happened was, 2018 talks of inequality and how how the quota itself benefits a specific group of individuals in Bangladesh, as now the quota now moved from going from the freedom fighters to their children to the grandkids. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? The quota itself is a requirement that was needed for most sought after government jobs. You understand? So which means now that alienates the entire population but gives favor towards a specific group.
To the 30%.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So now what happened was eventually 2018 the quota is removed. You understand? Petitions come about 2021, talks are brought again. 2023, so I think in 2022 if I'm not mistaken, the quota system was renewed. Meaning in a way it was brought back. Now
After it was removed.
Now talks have been going on again, debates. Now to make matters worse was when the Prime Minister, the Sheikh herself, went on live television and said, if we are not, I quote, this is how it's not mine, if freedom fighters are not to receive the quotas, who are we supposed to give it to? Razakars. You know what Razakars are?
What is that?
Razakars during the invasion, during the fight against Pakistan, Razakars were local clansmen that were recruited by the Pakistani army to fight against the Bangladesh. They were accused of heinous and unspeakable crimes. You understand? Now, in modern day, the word Razakar has now transformed. It's a derogatory term. So what happened was the individuals now, when she said that, that was the nail in the coffin. Because now that triggered protests, that triggered backlash, that triggered now individuals coming up with new terms. You understand? Where the invented terms is, who's a Razakar? I am a Razakar, for example.
The people are marching on the street singing that.
So the situation hasn't been pretty.
Okay.
And you know, there are many other reasons that go into finding out what has been going on, such as the US hand in it, the Chinese hand in it. So I learned a lot, man. You understand?
Okay.
So yeah, thank you for the opportunity of allowing me to understand, to educate people. And another thing is, I may have gotten some facts wrong. At the end of the day, I'm not necessarily now an individual that will go extensively. So I'm only going to read what I find interesting.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely, yeah.
I see that you're deeply invested in history. Do you love history?
I wouldn't say I love it, I understand, because I don't think anyone should love history. It should be a part of who you are.
But you appreciate history?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe history should be a mandatory, I believe it should be a mandatory field of study. You understand? In both high schools and universities.
Yeah.
People should know their history too.
You understand? Because history, as cliche as this may sound, where individuals say history allows you to know where you're going because you don't know where you're going to go forward if you don't know where you're going to go back. You understand what I'm saying?
That's bullshit.
I love history. Let me not say love. I appreciate history because history allows for an individual to exercise who they are.
Yeah.
You understand?
But that's the thing about...
Because you would have known who you were. It allows you to exercise who you are because you would have known who you were.
Yeah.
My concern with history is like, it only... History...
True.
It doesn't give acknowledgement to the presence. I know it's a derogatory term to use nowadays, but like our family that died way back, they're not in the books of history.
Yeah.
It's like they're pushing someone's narrative. They're telling someone's story.
True.
Yeah, no?
You're absolutely true.
That's why I kind of don't fuck with history.
When they say history favors the victors, that is true. That is true. But now you need to also understand that history is like politics. Politics is a part of history, the same way history is a part of politics.
Yeah.
They both operate like what I said in the beginning, on a matter of perspective. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel like also everything, man, has its own history.
You understand?
You know? Yeah.
When I was a child, okay, to be fair, when you're 17, you are a child.
Yeah.
When I was 17 and I was a child, I was reading particularly on the Mvetan or Difatani, because they call it, that was initiated by Shaka. Right. Now, I remember reaching the part where Shaka's mom has died. Queen Nandi has died.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I found things very interesting. When you say history favors the victors, where it says Shaka Zulu slaughtered 7,000 people because they did not mourn properly. They say Shaka slaughtered all the cattle, so the calves would know what it's like to lose a mother. Shaka then instructed all people to not consume certain types of food. Now, here's where it became interesting for me, right? Dairy at the time was a staple of the Zulu diet. You understand what I'm saying?
Dairy being EBC.
You understand? At the same time, it would not make sense for me for this king to slaughter 7,000 people all in the name of his mother.
Yeah.
You understand? And the people willingly allowed to let that happen. I do not believe that would. Now that is where. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is that is where the question of history remembering the victors goes in. You understand? What I'm trying to say is it was at that point when I was reading the history of Shaka, I realized that the history that we are taught is lies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, dude.
History does not remember victors. That is just something, yes, that is, I believe, a narrative at most times that we interpret and say, history doesn't remember victors.
Yeah.
History remembers victors that wrote biasly.
Shout out. History remembers victors that wrote bias.
Is there even such a word as biasly? But okay, for paraphrasing and for grammatical purposes, let's rather say history remembers victors that wrote on the basis of bias. You understand?
Okay.
An example of this was when they would write about Chief Makama and in Colonel Harry Smith in, what year was it? I forgot. In the journals that they were written, one word that appears quite often is the word savage. You understand?
Why were they labeled savages?
They were labeled savages for financial, political, and military gain. If you look at any historical photo of any historical king, so not if any historical photo of any African, not a photo or painting or drawing, of any African, not South African, every African king, they do not look very pleasing. They look very tyrannical, they look very dangerous, and they look extremely violent. You understand? So by so by portraying now, by portraying Africans as savage, as being unlawful, you now have what divine right to use religion as an oppressive tool to say you're civilizing these individuals. You understand that you now can persuade the queen or whoever leads to send you an army, to send you more funds, to allow you to take up more land, all in the name of civilization and expansion.
Okay.
Hectic.
So that is why now they portray certain people. And let me take you for example. And it did not just happen in Africa. It happens everywhere. It still continuously happens to this day. This is very prevalent in politics, where they will portray a certain individual in a certain way, all in the name of trying to discredit so people can favor. That's an example of what I'm talking about would be Donald Trump. An example of what I'm talking about, believe it or not, would be Hitler. There's a lot of lies they wrote about Hitler.
It would be Jacob too.
Zuma, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what is it that you believe that it's been a lie about Donald Trump?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
1, he's racist.
Oh yeah.
2, he's a threat to democracy. 3, he's a misogynist. 4, he genuinely wants to see the world in chaos. Those are the lies we've been taught. It only takes individuals that decide to go and actually do their research.
Sure.
Surely you will truly find that the world that we live in now no longer has entertainment. Entertainment is now a political weapon.
Okay.
Media is a political weapon.
Yeah.
Even entertainment is nowadays a
That's what I just
political
said.
tool.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Because it's happening in the US currently. You see that when the politicians are Converse,
Campaigning.
campaigning,
They
Like
use
what?
celebrities.
they use celebrities. I saw Megan the Stallion.
Yeah.
Chef G.
It's even South Africa. They actually do
The
it.
ANC.
The ANC, the EFF. We have Uncle Vinny's.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Mm.
Which is absolutely ridiculous because politics has no place in entertainment. The same way entertainment has no place. Yes, you may argue and say they do overlap each other at times.
Sure.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that
It should be in the favor
Yeah.
now of
you understand
celebrity type.
where you're now you're unleashing bulls. Okay, you're unleashing Brahma bull. You're unleashing a Brahma bull into a goat's crown.
Yeah, I feel you with that. I feel
You understand what I'm saying?
It's like they're trying to be biased. It's like being biased now. You're trying to push the narrative of someone who's a figure in the certain aspect of media, and then that person when he becomes now part of that party, and then people will vote because of that.
That is where now.
Figure.
Now that is where in mass comm there's this thing I just forgot what it's called. It's called the boomerang effect in mass communication. Now the boomerang effect refers to when the unintended as an outcome happens over the initial plan.
Sure.
For example, and one example of a boomerang effect is Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
Where
Why are you saying that?
where media successfully, I don't know if I'm one to say proved, but I'm just gonna say successfully exposed and portrayed Zuma as a tyrannical, corrupt individual.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
That same campaign that was slandering for years, that they used for years. Do you understand that in 2022, the initial opposite happened when Zuma went to jail? We thought this country would be at peace when that man ends up in prison. Look what happened.
But the riots that happened.
So that's an example once again of when now the media is a tool.
Yeah.
Because even
what other media tactics are much prevalent in our days? Because we've seen the
smear.
The Mandela effect too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spova. My guy there behind the camera, he has something to say. What do you want to say, bro?
Okay, my brother.
Oh, look, I wanted to go back to that thing of like using politicians and the artists, like bringing them together.
Yeah. I
would say like it's more like a marketing strategy, because like no one would just go to the stadium just because of like, for example, this is gonna be Ramaphosa alone. So I think they are using artists to stay relevant, like to bring people that you would know that if there's the likes of maybe MT pulling up, there's Shebe Sheet, there's Aries that is gonna be there. For sure you're gonna go there, and then like they will deliver their speech through. It's more like they work together.
It is a marketing.
It's a marketing strategy.
It is a marketing strategy.
You see,
it is a marketing strategy targeted at the youth, because the voting demographic has now changed. Yeah, there are more youth compared to like the older generation that are eligible to vote.
Sure.
Youth has the numbers currently, so to appeal to the youth, because the youth doesn't care about politics, to appeal to them, you gotta use the influential people that they look up to.
At the same time, Spova, you can say like the youth doesn't care about politics. There are people like Vuyo who does.
Did you vote, my brother?
Politics. Yes, I did.
But in like 10 people that is youth, 4 people managed to vote, 6 did not.
For sure.
Yeah,
but what I was about to
so
say,
the youth doesn't care about politics.
I agree with what you were saying, but then I do not. Using celebrities to sway public opinion is not a marketing strategy. That is a psychological tactic, because you understand very fully that these individuals are undecisive by using figureheads that stand with the intention of swaying their opinion. That is manipulation, and that is psychology.
Those are tactics.
Those are dirty tactics that have been used, that were particularly used in World War II. You understand? We no longer call propaganda sometimes. We call it marketing now. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know how to call propaganda, it's called marketing now.
Nowadays.
You understand?
Sure, brother.
The fact now, that is what makes it very scary.
Yeah.
You understand?
Sure.
The fact that you cannot see it shows it's working.
Sure.
How oblivious, how uneducated, and how stupid do you have to be that a celebrity, chances are to not even finish matric like you, has the power to sway your opinion? How ridiculous is that?
It's crazy, John. It's crazy. It saddens me, man, that speaking of politics and everything, but let's just move to another topic, bro.
Yeah, man.
What else do you have to say, Siviyolas?
Oh.
I can speak about things like
so much that is happening, man. Outside here. But yeah, man, there's something that is happening right here in Cape Town, man. Spotify has hosted an event. It calls like Spotify Mom, Mother of Music.
Mother of Music.
Oh.
Beautiful event.
You know what
I saw it last year.
Okay, let me check now the stats. What I say, they're saying.
You're going to have to let me know about this. You're going to have to let me know more about this, okay?
Yeah, there's an event, bro, like that's happening very soon, man. Like,
plus it's free.
Yeah, it's free of charge. You get it like a free ticket. You just go to the website, Spotify Mom. Then you go there, you register for your ticket, and then you get the ticket for free. And then you'll be on the waiting list. But I'm trying to check right now, like.
Plus, like I was checking at the headlines. It's like big names.
Yeah.
It's like Kwakha. I know there's a bro.
Vuyo Deep also.
Yeah, Vuyo Deep.
Yeah, Vuyo.
Headliners.
Yeah.
There's a bro that is popping up now. He's bubbling under in the Western Cape. You call him Ziggy. If ever you know the bro. He's rapping Afrikaans.
I don't know him.
Is he one of these colored drill artists?
Colored drill artists, yeah. He's on some which
now they are the ones that know what drill music is.
So
not Ugnyathela Matimon. Not
What is happening?
That's true music.
No offense.
So this is what is happening. So the event is occurring like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. From day one, from the 5th? Yeah, the 5th of September. It's Mom First Thursdays. Cape Town East City Block and CPT. And then the next one, it's Yard Party hosted by K Dollars, Texas Level, Albertus Road, Cape Town.
Free.
And then another one, it's Mom at 10 Natal Street. It's a Padding, Iledin. And then the other one, it's Streetly Soul, Mom Edition. It's at Selective Live, 189 Wooten Street, Cape Town. And then the other one, also it's right here close to us, Mom Street Play, Harrington Street. It has the likes of Dikoala for the Culture, Zig 4X, Ziggy, and then it's Honeymoon, and then the Spinal, and then the other one also it's occurring.
Big artist.
And then the other one also it's Mom's Rappy Watch Party at Texas Springboks versus All Blacks. And then the other one, that's the last one now. It's a Sunday Rants with Mom. Rants 6 Macabeni Road, Khayelitsha, Cape Town. So that's the last stop.
Free. Last stop is at Rants. I wanna pull up.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spotify and
the tickets
like
are
music.
Sorry, bro. It looks like for the tickets for Rants, they are already finished.
Already sold out.
Yeah, already sold out, bro.
I mean,
the only tickets that are available right now, it's what is it? It's the one like at Natal Street, and then the Street is so Mom Edition. There it's Selective Live, and also the Harrington Street one. There's still the tickets available, and then the Springboks versus Blacks one also still has the tickets. Yeah.
Speaking of Spotify and music and events,
yeah.
What do you think of the latest drop, KO featuring my goat, Nasty C?
I don't know,
it's
man.
It's too much.
I don't know, man. I'm not really like tapped in that much, man, when it comes to like new songs. But I heard about it.
9.5.
I heard about it, but back then I used to be that guy like who wanted to have a new song now. But since now the internet also like is very open to a point that a song you can just see a song like on Instagram, TikTok, without having to go now and search for it. So for me, I would say like the song like it's bump, you can bump it, bro. It has the vibe.
It's a nice song there too. And plus, Nasty C came through with the fire verse. My boy has been dropping fire verses, by the way.
Yeah.
We seen that shit with like the lemons to lemonade. He came back with too much. Too much is about to fuck up the summer, dog.
Shoo. Even the project he released it was like this is the Army one with MT Born to Win.
Oh yeah,
dope song also.
Yeah.
Dope song. There's another song that I've heard. It's a young guy. I don't even know him that much, but there was a guy from where I'm living. He played this song when I was around him, and then the guy, it's Brother Cooper, keep coming in. Those are the guys like you need to check it out, bro. Like you need to check that guy. He does just does like a song for vibes.
Where is he from?
I don't know really, like that's why I'm saying, bro, like I don't know really, like I just heard the song and I was like, okay, bumpable. You know, there are those songs like you play around with, not like in a serious manner, like you're listening to it and then you learn something from. It's just like a vibe song.
It's a type of songs.
Yeah, you know me.
I'm like yo.
I'm in that lane.
Your Ken Carsons, your Eat, your Playboy Carries. I don't fuck with those type of music.
Absolutely.
I come from a school of like Abozona 7, your pros, your WHPs. You gotta have message on your songs. You cannot always finesse.
Absolutely.
You can finesse, sure, but you gotta deliver the message too. You entertain, you educate and entertain.
Change your subject.
Sure. I'm like, I see the Playboy Cardi's, your Ken Carsons, that sound is growing internationally, globally, and it's coming into Africa too, because we have your Pretricles, they're also jumping on the sound. Your k.keed, they're also doing it. She did it with Lenami Salopumango when it's the sea. Yeah, 24. It's the time of, it's that type of sound.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
Blackie too doing it.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
I honestly think, I'm sorry, I think that is the degeneration of hip hop.
South African hip hop or hip hop in general.
That is not the people, the sound is the degeneration of hip hop.
Yeah.
I personally believe that hip hop has definitely changed for the worse.
Let's take it to South Africa first.
Do you understand?
Let's take it to South Africa first before we go.
South Africa has a fairly young culture in terms of hip hop.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I definitely do feel like it has degenerated in itself.
Sure.
Understand?
Take it back.
The reason why I definitely do believe hip hop is degenerated. One of the reasons why I believe hip hop is degenerated. Now, what I'm about to say is a lot of people may take it into into a very wrong context.
Yeah.
But if you take it in the wrong context, then wear a helmet, please. One of the reasons why I personally believe South African hip hop, in fact, not just hip hop, music has degenerated in sound. Was when we started becoming too comfortable. Listen to music during apartheid era.
Yeah.
Do you hear the bangers that come out from
It's
those
full
people?
good music.
It's making sure that you come with
Upliftment.
lyricism that is too tight.
Why? Because they were pushed into a corner, were given the stripes of society, and had to find a way to think outside the box. My argument that I have with South African hip hop is the lack of creativity that we have. There are too many people that sound like too many people, in my opinion. that is some.
Yeah.
I remember I once said to you that there's a difference between blatant copying and paying homage. There is a complete difference in doing so. Every time I listen to these old school guys, the Sugar Smacks, the Amos, the
Camps, your Slickers, your Banban.
everyone sounds different from another.
True.
Do you understand? Paying homage is what DOS is doing. DOS is, you can hear Brown Dash influence, but does not sound like a Brown Dash. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Who else is doing good? Is it DOS and
in terms of what?
Of like not copying
But
someone's
in terms
style,
of paying
but paying
homage,
homage.
in terms of paying homage, I definitely think DOS is absolutely
That
the
guy that
epitome
it's on your mind right
in
now.
terms of paying homage towards another, because DOS is one of those few artists, in my opinion, that should be given should be given more than just an eye.
Sure.
Because he's one of those few artists, right? Like you see, this is what I love about him, no focalistic. It's because they don't appropriate hip hop culture. You understand?
Yeah.
And then try to jam it into Amapiano baby bonda ayiko kodali. They are actually individuals that are crossbreeds of both worlds. DOS in terms of style, you can hear the blueprint of rapping inside of it. Folky aesthetically, and in terms of
he looks like a rapper.
And in terms of, you understand? And in terms of,
everything.
same with, who's this guy? One of the most brilliant artists I've ever heard. Sergio. Is another example of a crossbreed. They are not individual. Now, what I do not like particularly is these cats that appropriate.
I think Mnau Setril is like a copy of something Soweto.
I disagree.
No.
Sergio is much more of a rapper.
No, don't go there.
He's much more of a rapper than something Soweto is. There's a difference between Mamel.
Sergio can spit.
There's a difference.
Yeah,
yes, I'm
he's
saying
rapping, bro.
Sergio spits.
Yeah, he was a rapper before.
Sergio has one of the most brilliant rhyming capabilities I have ever heard in terms of piano. You understand?
Now Sergio just copies the other guys.
Let me give an example, right? There are very few artists I've ever heard in terms of on piano beats that know how to use multisyllabic rhyming patterns. It's only just the flow is simple. Like, what's this guy's name? One of the greatest. I loved him. Mbur. Mbur. Mbur had a very choppy flow. If he had a very choppy flow, you understand? So Trillion is more of a rhymer. ingelo akachive in mtheleli gin galo gin to gin.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Do you hear that? Mamela umlando. Mamela umlando. Lindutosa gqine. Yavutosa uma. Do you hear how diabolical that flow is? Name it diabolical. Listen to Central. So now what I'm saying to you is, brother, there are certain individuals in South Africa that should, you understand? Okay, let me not say should. That, speak to me, brother. Okay. There are certain individuals in South Africa that are crossbreeds between these genres. You understand that know very fully. Casper has tried, but he was too much of a piano artist.
Sure.
Even more. Okay, to be fair, Kwaito's background is quite.
Okay.
But even though we can argue and say Kwaito forefathered hip hop in South Africa, hip hop now is that son that got kicked out when he was 15. You understand? For smoking weed and came back into.
Sure, my brother.
Wabuya ke say yena girl.
Sure.
Uzozama uxoxa and as a result kwaphuma ipiano.
Sure.
So if I were to ask you now, who's making real hip hop in South Africa?
Real hip hop in South Africa right now, Aries is making real hip hop in South Africa.
That's what I was saying to you.
Aries makes real
Aries,
hip hop.
bro, like he is in that day that
makes real hip hop.
true.
Brilliant.
I was gonna say that.
Yes.
I was saying to him
by the
also
way.
that Aries, man, is in that lane where he doesn't do music for everyone.
He's a rapper, yeah.
He's a
niche.
rapper.
He has a niche.
He's a rapper because if you take it back when he was still ambitious, he was doing music so that everyone can bump.
It's not about that.
But it's not about it because also like he understands that you need to pay attention on real hip hop.
We don't anymore, and and I think that should show the degeneration of the youth's mind. You understand?
Yeah.
How did we make Sexy Red famous? How did we allow who's this Moonchild? How did we allow Moonchild to be a celebrity?
Spice.
How do we allow Moonchild to be say, it's podcast about to get cancelled before it even
Before it even pops. I was speaking our shit.
You understand what I'm saying? It shows the degeneration of youth. This is why I cannot stand Playboy Cut. This is
I just wanted to ask, bro, like, how do you feel about the underground?
This is
because
why-
there are guys right here in South Africa who are pushing that sound. As Spova said,
because-
like in Africa, but generally, let's take it here in South.
The first
there are
question-
guys like who are pushing this.
The
thing,
first
bro.
question I have is what the fuck is wrong with people's ears?
I don't fuck with the mumble rap. I want niggas to rap. I want to shit.
What
Don't
the
come
fuck
here
is
with the
this?
mumble.
But here's the thing once again, particularly in Playboy. I can't take away the creativity from Playboy. This is what I cannot stand his music.
Why is he created?
This is where he's
Creating alone.
He's
He doesn't make the beats.
Yes.
First of all,
he doesn't.
He doesn't make the
And he
beats.
doesn't.
He sounds cock.
And he doesn't. He sounds cocky. He doesn't make the beats, but he definitely created the sound.
True, bro.
He created the sound.
Yes, my man. Yes.
One
yes.
thing I would say, man.
Yes,
bro,
this is here's the thing. Lil Uzi and Playboy Cardi are two of the most creative individuals that we currently have in this generation. Particularly Lil Uzi Vert. You understand?
Yeah.
Lil
For the
Uzi,
sound.
the reason why I believe with Lil
The
Uzi
lyrics
Vert,
they're
the
using.
reason why I believe with Lil Uzi Vert is creative is because he's the only one that's still able, he's the last one that still has that SoundCloud era. You see that aesthetic from 2016?
Yeah.
He still has the same.
Yeah.
The only thing he has found a way to reinvent
Sure.
the way Lil Pampo Kuleke con.
Yeah. But
The
Playboy Cut also, bro.
All
Like,
21 and all the Lil Yadis had to change their style for us above. Lil Uzi is the only. That's why that should end Playboy. That should show you the fact that they were able to reinvent, you understand, and adapt their style. God, you can still hear Blueprint. Should show you the creativity.
and also like, bro, like they're not chasing the thing of having big numbers.
Yes,
Because
and-
we never chase like the big numbers. Man, he's that guy like he would you would see he drops an album and then he doesn't care about promoting the album.
For example,
the only people promoting the album is the cult, people following him.
For example, the forefather of creativity.
No, he does promote the album, dog. There are many ways of promoting the album.
Like
that he's promoting.
I'm saying a lot of people, like, he has a cult.
Yeah.
He has a cult.
Cult following, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. For example, Lil Wayne. Do you think when Lil Wayne was 27, he would believe he's literally the father of today's hip hop? The dreadlocks and face tattoos.
Everything. He invented the sweat.
OG.
He invented the style. Everything.
Wearing the bass.
You understand this? But then
that's why I don't fuck with the Playboy Cardis.
Because they are a desecration of what Lil Wayne is. Even though you can say Lil Wayne does have ridiculous lyrics, but the style is like with the F baby and the F is for phenomenal.
He's a rapper.
What does that even mean?
Yo.
What does that even mean?
But like, my question was, how do you gents feel about the sound that is coming up?
I think
influenced by
Playboy,
trash.
Playboy Cardis, your
trash, absolutely trash.
Absolutely. For me, like, I feel like, for me, it's a matter of a thing. When you were growing up, you saw the stars on, like, on TV, seeing these guys like doing that and that and that, and then you felt like as time goes by, now you see someone like at your own age doing their own thing with their own sound, and then by the time they're doing that in their own sound, and also like we feel like, oh, okay, there's a sense of belonging now. It's not about bigger artists. It's more like now. In my own generation, young guys are doing the sound.
Let's go back to
I'm not done yet. But I'm saying like the guys, they feel like, okay, now there's a guy like who's younger and he's doing this thing, so let's be part of this thing, because it's a movement. Also, it's more of like a thing of, I feel like it's more of about money. It's not about just being creative and having like a context of what I'm talking about. It's more about having money and also being fly, because that's one of the things like we
told these niggas, Asimo State, you cannot be making that type of
hold on, this is
but it doesn't matter for them, like the young guys. The younger guys, they feel like this is what we should push right now, because this is where money is.
Welcome forward.
Look, I mean, like, thank you for the opportunity. I mean, like, with music, it's all like diverse, guys. Like, we all have like different taste when it comes to music. We all like have different perspective when it comes to music. It's more like politics. There'll always be a debate. And I would say, with music, like, there are people who like Maskandi, and I'm sure maybe all of you like here don't bounce to Maskandi, for example. So there are people who listen to like music like with a message. There are people who are cult following, like listening to the like likes of Playboy Carti, stuff like that, just because of how they wear, how they portray themselves. It's not about like only the music, but how do you hold yourself like when you are in public, stuff like that. So I would always say, like, with music there will be a debate, and it's never any debate.
So here's the thing. You're telling the truth. In music, it will be a never-ending debate. You understand?
Sure.
This is hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? That's a very different ball game. Here, what you say will always matter. I do not care. Nobody people tell me it's not 1983 anymore. Fuck that.
Look, I mean, like,
what you say will always matter. You understand what I'm saying? This is where, my melakene, this is where I believe that sound has no place in South Africa. Why? There's something that you said.
But there's diversity. Like in the sorry, brother, to just cut you. There's a diversity when it comes to hip hop. Hip hop, like, it comes from overseas. It's not a thing that we had right here in South Africa.
We can make our own.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the diverse thing that people they kind of got inside it, and then they pushed it further.
There's
for what it was like from overseas to where it is right now.
That's called what is that called? What is that called?
Which one?
That is called appropriation. That is called appropriation. This is what angers me the most about South African hip hop. It's because I get lost in YouTube wormholes. Every country in the world has their own
sound.
Not own sound. Hip hop sounds the same. They have their own hip hop identity. Listen to
that's what I'm saying.
South Africa has no hip hop identity.
True.
Listen to what I'm saying. If you go to Ghana, listen to Yao talk. Uyawutalk makes drill music. Never. Listen to Gazo from France. Gazo makes drill music. And if listen to Sid Humoswala. Sid makes drill. He makes some of the hardest music. May he rest in peace. India. Each and every one of these individuals blended their Jonah. But it's drill music. Legitimately.
Like, since 1980 sound, we have the piano. The jazz overseas are now talking about it's hip hop.
Listen to what I'm saying.
South Africa doesn't have its own identity.
Has
its own hip hop identity.
Has none.
We're not discarding you now. We're not discussing you, bro. We're listening to you.
Like in America, they're rapping with the twangs, the sound in a type of way. The Britain guys, our Central C, they're doing their thing now. The sound yabo. We have our own sound that is globally. Amapiano.
I'm not talking about
Amapiano.
How about we infuse the Amapiano sound with e-raps, hip hop raps? What is it?
Hell no. No, because now you are tainting the culture.
We are creating our own hip hop identity.
No. You are creating a subgenre. You are not. You need to understand something.
Hip hop is a
you need to understand.
like,
Amapiano.
EP5
Amapiano. That nonsense essence of Rick. Hated that sound very
but the streets
because
shit.
The reason why I hated it was because it taints the identity. In South Africa, do you know there will be gang fights over Abantu that listen to that listen to hip hop and against Abantu that listen to Equite. People that listen to Amapiano stems from Equite. Yes, it may have hip hop elements, stems from Equite.
Same as
Lento uifunayo. There are people that fought very hard by South Africa has its own identity in terms of hip hop. I do not agree with blending hip hop with vernacular sound because now you are now taking away an identity from our identity here hip hop is rapping in vernacular.
Yeah.
The identity here to like.
Just the beats.
We understand. Beats and
the beats, the hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that. There are melodic sounds we could exploit. There's koi. You understand? That possess instruments. I'm surprised no one has even thought about sampling to create. I'm very surprised. You understand what I'm saying?
Whereas overseas they could play around with different sounds.
That's what I do not understand about this. Jonga, when I say identity, it does not have to be sound. India, you understand? Yes, they will always copy this overseas. But when you look at every artist in the world, there's always that one thing that's synonymous with that country.
Sure.
There's always that one thing that is synonymous with whatever country or region. Ghana, don't wear t-shirts in their music video because it's hot.
It's hot in Ghana, sure.
I'm making an example.
Sure.
Guys will wear huge ass coats because it's cold in France.
Just like a resemblance of showing you what is happening.
Muswala is a sick. Imagine a whole fucking rapping in the India. A turban. Can you imagine?
Whereas overseas, like that's inappropriate for them. Overseas, they would say like that's inappropriate. That's not hip hop. You should wear like a snap cap.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is where now I cannot engakwaziyo. At some point, that's my identity. So boom, that used to be our identity.
Where hip hop started right here in Cape Town.
That used to be
graffiti.
Our identity. And you can say, for example, the reason we don't have identity is because we copied what is not ours. True, but we have so many examples of individuals that took what converted it into Ayab. We have house music in South Africa, in UK. I'm not sure if we copied it from them, but house music from London.
It's not the same as house music from South Africa.
Because they have their what? Identity here too. I hate how here to identity will always be house music. Because there's no country in the world that has better house music than South Africa. And Diluin, fuck that. What David Guetta will never compare to what DJ Fisher and all the fishermen and all the makers. Okay, to be fair, David Guetta make EDM, but you get the point.
Oh yeah.
But you get the point.
Sure, bro.
My point is, I am very much against blending hip hop.
So like, the rapping kids are not representing.
Absolutely not.
Like South Africa.
But when I represent you're representing Brooklyn, New York, Usezira, the Free State.
I get you.
Wearing a snap cap.
I get you.
This is what angers me. Okay, that's an Ndika, your foot, for example. There's this. Push shiesty. I love Popo. Free shiesty. Brrr, big brr, come get it back and blow it. You understand? But the ski mask culture.
He came with it.
Push shiesty. Go box Memphis, Tennessee. Enjoyable there. You understand? Ever since, and another thing, big 30 or big score, no push shiesty. You understand how they all sound like, enchanting.
Yeah.
Enchanting.
Why do they sound like
shiesty? Not necessarily sound like, because they have their own identity, or they have their own identity. You understand? In South Africa, who cares one that try to replicate who eat? At least get a couple tool. They have to copy how he dresses too, nigga.
Bro,
Damn,
take everything.
Damn, bro.
And that's the thing, man. I think also for them, like, it's more about money, as I've said.
Yeah.
It's all about money now in this nowadays. Like hip hop nowadays, it's all about money. Pushing the agenda.
It's
TikTok. It's TikTok. There's a mass market on Instagram of guys who are wearing a certain way. Now you wanna follow as a kid.
For example, what the hell is this thing? Tweezy. What is that?
That's a slang, man.
I don't know if maybe I'm the one that doesn't know fashion. What is that?
It's like was this skr, but uptown skr. The OG.
There's levels of skr. There's ranks in this shit.
Yeah, there's ranks in that shit.
Yeah, you are ringing them now. Damn, that's crazy.
It's like.
Yeah, but it's okay. Is this what I told you? Go saskula kwa mainika. Nabase lokshin.
Yeah.
When I turned 18, when I maybe 15, that's when the word was skr. When they started dropping my nigga, because my nigga was synonymous with boom bap.
Skr came with the Migos. They were the one with the
but it's the but don't you think though at the same time, you know how the OGs that listen to hip hop before Tina were called my nigga?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But like with the Latweezys, there are many skrs that dresses
different.
Like different baggy is like labeled as a skr. So you go in ranks between the skrs. The highest rank is like the Latweezys.
There's
pulling the shit on.
Tonka, there's opium.
That sound is that.
Why is it called opium?
Opium is the one Playboy kind.
Y'all even know what opium is?
Don't you know that style?
You guys even know what opium is?
Don't you know like that all black style now where they wear Rick Owens shoes, leather pants?
The opiums to me refers to drugs.
Yeah, I know that is drugs, but
so I didn't know there's a sound called opium music.
Yeah, opium music, that's the Playboy kind of sound. The swag also, persona too. Become a rock star.
And another thing, what do you think of like awards?
As we don't play around with the bottle, bro.
I think awards are irrelevant in this day and age. Because yes, there's this question that says, what is hard work if there's no reward? But what does the reward mean? And what does the hard work mean when the reward can be bought?
That's deep.
So I don't necessarily
made me reflect. I was
lost.
For example,
lost in the
you know there's this problem that this is something that I've always noticed. And it's sad because I've watched hip hop change for the worst in front of my eyes. When I was a kid, if you wanted to be a rapper, people actually used to rap in this battle. Even when I go back at dawn, when I go back at dawn in Goku, the big homies that are in their 30s, late 20s, if you ever heard those guys rap, they would spit some things Oh, yay! One time, there's this OG from where I live. Now, Tamito, put me to love him to death. Shout out Tamito. Tamito one time once said to me during a freestyle, I gave a man the backhand, while in the palm I blueprint and imprint the master plan. Whoa! That punchline was so deep I only understood it 5 years after he said it.
Yeah.
If you go back here and go, and the little homie tells me he wants to be a rapper, I spit and then I am yo. I fuck you, bitch. I'm driving in. I'm saying
that shit, man. Fuck that shit.
That's so crazy, man. Even right now, like what you're saying now, I was in that moment where I felt like, this sounds nice. In a way that there's a play in the words.
If anyone steals these punchlines, I'm gonna get my big homie to come run up.
So like they no CV about the lyrical content that rappers now push boy.
You see, lyrical content is a reflection of what society is like.
True.
The rappers are not
the reasonable prophets of the city.
We're talking about fairy tales.
The reasonable prophets of the city or and all these guys spoke about very positive things in their music was because they came from an era of struggle.
I mean, we have the pandemic. Rappers are about the pandemic, dog.
No, because we were born in comfort. That's the difference. We were born in comfort. You understand? Azange siyazi ubunzima from day, because if ubunzima besibazi bonke from day one, do you want me to tell the honest truth? Everyone in South Africa, okay, they'll put like this. If ubunzima besibazi sesebancane, there would be a lot more creativity than there are, because instead of copy and paste. Hip hop was very brutal at that. For example, copying someone's lines in the 80s,
was bad.
You will never have a career.
It's still bad, by the way.
It's still bad. Stealing niggas' lines will always be bad. Biting. Biting used to be a huge thing. I don't think biting is anything.
No, it's like you are.
And it's crazy how I can have points of reference from the 80s because I grew up around people that used to rap in the 80s and 90s.
You are bumping music from the 80s, boy. Some might think back, say you are approaching your 30s but you're still a young kid.
What type of question is that? What type of organization do you work for? Africa? Why are you trying to know my age?
Because like you prophets of the city, not your normal South African who's prophets of the city.
Once again, brother, it goes back to that first question that you asked me. Do I love history?
It
goes back to that question. Everything has history in it.
Oh, bro.
You understand?
That's what I was saying. Everything, man. Has history. The music has history. Everything.
I mean, Kendrick is the only rapper that was rapping about COVID.
He's not the only one. He's just the only one that you knew about.
Who?
The only one.
Who's that?
Is on the mainstream media.
Eminem. What about Eminem? Listen.
Nah, Spova. Who you were talking with?
Kendrick, Kenny.
Have you listened to? Did you listen to music to be murdered by?
To be murdered by.
I don't bump
Eminem.
Yeah. Listen to Eminem.
I don't bump Eminem.
I don't wanna be alone in the darkness.
Eminem. That's some. That's another artist again, Fetu. That I'm gonna get past it creativity.
He has it, bro.
It's like pneumonia symptoms. You're contracting COVID instantly.
But like in a South African perspective, I think Kwesta or Stogie.
Kwesta is a rapper.
He puts in the words. Lyrical content is always top shelf.
Yeah. Absolutely. But once again, to show you the degeneration of the youth's brains, me included, and in the degeneration of music. How the hell, for example, Kobane's Dwan, who's this kid? There are artists, man, I genuinely don't feel like should be where they are. How is Zulumeka where she is now? But Musli sold songs with the trash content the way he put her out.
The time Muzi came in at the game,
nobody
was doing that shit.
Yeah, but no. Now, but here's the thing. Once again, here's the thing. I'm not speaking about time. Era, yes. Time different. Era different. Yes. Style is same. why is k.keed hotter than why is k.keed hotter than Zulu Mac?
Zulu Mac is more for conscious rapper.
Once again,
k.keed appeals more to a 5-year-old. Sure.
What did I say? It shows the degeneration. If you can identify with Umtulo, identify with Umdano 5 years old, what does that say about you?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I am not comparing, and this is a problem. This is a problem that we have, especially when it comes to females in hip hop.
Like I'm asking the ass, man, in the back say, what does a 40-year-old's playlist look like?
Old songs, bro.
Old songs, bro.
Old.
Speaking for my mom. Yeah, bro. And you know, there are a lot of problems that exist. You understand? For example, there's so many problems in South Africa that there should be a rapper out there that's putting people on game.
Yeah.
With the shit that's going on.
I mean, Touchline does that.
Oh, how can we forget about him? Lyricist.
Touchline does that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of lyricists, now, when I was still growing up, there were rappers 5 years ago, when I was still growing up, 5 years ago, there were rappers that I thought back said, go they would be. Like,
yeah,
rich,
absolutely.
big, everything.
What happened to Du Bois?
What happened to J Hood?
Who's
That
J
nigga
Hood?
was spitting, bitch.
Who's J Hood? What
Don't talk, J Hood.
He's another guy, man.
What happened to .com? What happened to Du Bois? What happened to Du Bois?
Du Bois, he had a feature with...
No, AKA.
Besides AKA.
Bras, what happened to Du
.com
Bois?
made a song with Casper, dog.
Remember, Du Bois...
Do you
I was playing that
understand?
shit on the
Do you
jukebox.
see these guys were one? These were all lyricists.
So
Yes,
brother,
yeah,
sorry.
man. These were all
Sorry,
lyricists.
Vuyo.
I'm coming to Boys.
Sorry, Vuyo.
Yes, my brother.
He had a feature also with Tiger.
Oh, now I remember.
What
What
like
happened
that
to
time,
Du Bois?
Amapiano was still pushing the guys, man. Amapiano had an impact on the end.
What happened to these guys? There was
What happened to those guys?
There was okay, but Chichila Main deserves her props. I then Pambanisa Donian side. She was once upon a time the flagship of South African female. Back when him no Sean, money was it Sean King? There was a fat kid. A fat kid that was shot away a rapper. Young King. I think his name was Young King. Young King blew up at the same time.
Crazy, bro.
With Uchichi, but Uchichi was that one artist at the time, South Africa, that found a niche.
Yeah, she found a niche and she worked on that shit. But I resonated more with Rouge.
Now Rouge should be where she. Now Rouge definitely should be.
Yeah, bros, man.
But in fact, secondly, there's another thing that I have, a problem I have with female rappers in South Africa. I'm sorry, I'm definitely going to say it. South African rappers, female rappers not necessarily feel, but I hate how they adopt masculine identity in order to sell Mkulo up. Whereas, you understand, I wish women would be more feminine in their music.
I wanna hear you spitting shit about bikes. I
wanna hear
emotions about ladies, man.
I hate how
I wanna hear you saying shit bikes. There's this song. Same as the niggas.
There's this song of them no play.
You are listening to Playboy Carti. Playboy Carti sings a lot about fucking girls. You don't say shit, but when it's
female sweeps about fucking guy, we have say shit kakale, and I don't think. I don't think.
Hence why, like, I'm a domazane pela ekula in a more male.
I don't.
In a male voice.
Because here's the thing. Because now, my problem is specifically with the industry, is how a lot of people are too sensitive. Let's start there.
We are in that time now, Bruce.
Oh, I ain't gonna be happy.
No, not about that. Like time.
Okay, this not take that off for.
But what's happening? What's the closing, man?
But in closing,
can you just close it? Continue with your
but I was gonna say that there's a lot of problems as Koyo that are reflected even in the females. But the fact that they need to adopt masculine identities in order to sell music. You understand? I also hate how they also need to show a lot of skin in order to be able to sell music. Shout out to Rouge, braz.
She kept her shit covered.
Rouge was one of the first ones, man. But in closing, what I think I want to say is, this is a very beautiful land. You understand? With a lot of potential. Even though I may think musically in terms of hip hop we're garbage, I cannot lie and say there isn't potential. I'm not saying we're gonna go back to the golden era. Okay, 2014 to 20. Yay!
We might not ever find that era again.
You understand?
Hip hop.
But however, we can now make do with what we have. I think that there's a lot, man. A lot to speak about, a lot to engage about. You know what I'm saying?
The guys are doing good, bruh. Like Usima Mane is pushing the Black Keys. We have a whole breed of like female rappers that are coming up in the game, Goku. And the scene is kind of looking like beautiful, beautiful. But we might not hit la pinnacle car 2014 or 2016, 2017 because of the other sound, they call and go Amapiano, it's fucking the game up.
Besides that,
but I think
it couldn't be an excuse for that.
And I think
rappers fell off. People stopped back consistent, started caring more
about
Imali. I started being more about Imali instead of the genre.
Yeah.
Praz. The kid that quit music is making beats, look.
Crazy. Okay, Bruce. No.
What's happening with the OGs, Nyani, bro? They stopped making music. They're venturing into other types of.
Now it leaves sheer void for younger generation to take hold.
To fill up those shoes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for example, I'm still South Africa. Now, do you understand what's this guy's name? City Lights?
Yeah.
DJ City Lights.
Rest in peace, City Lights.
You understand? What's this? DJ VG. How many DJ Khaleds could we have had?
Capital, dog.
It's Capital. What happened to him?
Capital.
It's Capital.
That was my guy.
Guys, man.
What happened to him?
It's another conversation for another day.
He's still playing.
Okay.
Still playing.
Another conversation for another day, man.
In this labs.
You know what I mean? But what do you want to say, man, in closing, man?
We've chopped it up. Appreciate you guys. Keep commenting. That is it. From Capcast, creatives are all pushing. We were just yapping. Enjoy. Take care.
And don't forget to smile.
And subscribe.
This is Vuyo, Young Spova, the gang, Sonwabile. I am Sivenathi, we out.